So then I'm never going to change any settings on that microphone again.
Yeah, you don't need
Be
to change.
sure.
You don't need to change anything. Everything is working. So I've got it. Oh, for crying out loud! What the devil happened then? I just hit the button and it's just changed the screen. What the heck?
Nice.
Oh god. Oh sugar. Apologies about that. We started a little bit late because of reasons beyond our control, but we are here for. I am just gonna quickly remap a button on my keyboard because I didn't think I was ever going to do race commentary on this account, so I will be 2 seconds. I basically mapped the F1 and the F2 to change keys in between the races, so it changes to I don't know how to put it, like buttons that it shouldn't really be changing to. So I'm just going to quickly change those over. Sorry about that. Because you use F1 to change in between the cars, so I'm just going to change that to.
Can you actually change that?
Yeah, you can. If you go.
How do I change that?
What do you mean, like the start of the race?
The buttons. I mean the button.
Oh no, you can't. I was on about Streamlabs.
Okay.
I was just changing the Streamlabs one, so just.
I thought we were talking about change around on the people in the game.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm literally checking because I was pressing F5, and then I've accidentally put it onto something that.
Oh, great. I lost connection to Steam. I'm out.
Oh god! Right, if you give me a second.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
You can still hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you. You just
Nice.
disconnected from me.
So only Steam is being
Crap, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shit,
sorry.
crap. Yeah. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I've got the stream on. Right, I'll start it. Right, sorry about the delay, everyone. I had to make a phone call. But we are in the final 2 minutes of qualifying before our race in France for Tier 4 test race in the Line Motorsport Europe, or just AMU for short. And at the moment, we have a full grid of 20 drivers at the minute, and apparently it is going to be a wet race for everyone. So that's going to be a bit of a spanner in the works for a lot of them, but it'll be interesting to see what these guys go on the strategy. You can see everyone is on that soft tire at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But at the moment, the grid is actually really close together with Fire Guy in P2, but out ahead, Stolky with 127.8. So these guys are closing him in, but he's on his outlap to about to begin his final lap of the session. So it'll be interesting to see. But Nolbit as well, doing very well. In the commentary box with me is the ever glorious Mr. Kimmy Wright, who is just joining the session back after a few connection issues.
I disconnect. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Hello,
back
by
in.
the way.
Hello. Are you back in yet, or do you need me to send you an invite?
Yeah, I'm already back in. I'm on board with biggest boss at the moment, but he's on an in lap, I think.
I think he is cutting across turn 2 there. And yeah,
Yeah.
it is Kimmy Rai. And hey, Kevin is in chat. It is finally on, but the thing is, I've just realised the chat box is on stream because I have never used this account for streaming races. It's always been used for doing race commentaries. However, how can I bring up a chat box? There should be a way how to bring up my chat box on here without bringing up the stream. That's yeah, that is pretty big. But either way, we do have 54 seconds left, but we might have 20 seconds more due to the fact it's F1 Masters and Cody's do not add in. But we do have Nolbit on a lap now as well, and he is currently in P3, 5 temps away from Stolky, so he should have some ground to make up. And Nolbit is a very fast driver, so he will definitely be able to get some time on these guys ahead. So let's see what he can do as he comes up to the end of Sector 1 now, and he does get a very nice exit out of Turn 5 now, and he's 3 temps up, so Nolbit actually could be on for provisional pole here and about to hit the first major straight down this track. DRS wing wide open. We see Toz going to P3 with 128.3, so nice lap from him. So it's now going to be down to Nolbit as he comes through the chicane, but he has got traffic ahead on the Alfa Romeo of Ioannidis, or Pondweed, and he is getting very close, in fact. But as you can see, a lot of traffic around here, and it is very difficult to navigate, and he actually has set the fastest middle sector, so all eyes will be on Nolbit now if he can carry it up this time. Yeah.
What
do you say? Oh, FUB!
As there's FUB coming through into P1.
that was an outstanding lap. Yeah, he's literally only just took it, so very close from Fub there. The 1:27.822, so nice spot. I didn't see that, but will Nobilt be able to take that? Sorry, I keep pronouncing his name wrong, and I've been told to change that. And he comes up to the line now. What will he do? 1:27.7, and he
7.
set pole for him. And there we go. Go Zotax no built, and indeed. Also, I don't have the soundboard in at the moment, so you're gonna have to watch for later. However, let's see what if Toss can do. No, Toss is not on a lap, so it looks like if Max Duca is on a lap, he is the final guy. And it looks like both of the racing points are giving each other a slipstream now, as Max Duca comes up to the final sector of this track, and now coming out of the penultimate section, and he will floor it down the main straight now at the final turn. Bit of a lock up there, getting full speed and into the DRS zone. What will his time be? Will he improve from that 1:28.6? And he looks like he will just about, and he goes up into P7, and that looks like qualifying done for the French GP. And again, apologies about the delay. Something came up. So yeah, yeah, I am aware that my keyboard must survive longer than this race, and I'm not sure if that was directed at Kevin or me, but you know, it is quite loud on stream, so I'll have to get another one at some point. But either way, it's all good, and I am gonna give Kimmy Rye's new mic the approval of stream already because it is working beautifully.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah, it's like I can hear I can hear it nice on stream. Actually, I might just quickly crank it up in Discord because yeah, you actually are on max volume, so we have got it up. But there you go. It is very nice, but there you go. No built on pole position with 47, 1/10 behind him. Stolke, Fire Guy, Pete Toz, Prostasif, Max Duca, Scott Armstrong, Pondweed, and Beachbox rounding out the top 10. The handicap, AJ, Bloff, Wardy, Bomber, Ionoidi, Star, Keen, and McLaren Lad. And I know of a guy rounding out the final top 10, well, bottom 10 positions. However, these guys are apparently going to be in for a wet race, so this is going to be interesting to see what, in terms of strategy, is in for if we are going to have a dry or a race where it becomes rain. So we shall see. And what's the problem with hearing Kevin's keyboard? I don't see any problem in that. So I will have to find out in a bit. But can you please elaborate on what the problem is with his keyboard? Because mine's usually heard on stream more than his, but I never hear Kevin's on stream. And yes, the ever glorious 256, and we do have a very wet
yeah.
race.
Just about to say, sorry to interrupt you. It's this heavy rain, I would say. It's going to presumably be wet tyres.
Yeah,
I would say.
It doesn't look like it's going to dry out, but are you glad it wasn't like this on Tuesday for tier 2?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if I remember,
but I mean, we didn't have that heavy rain, but it was still not that race that I would have wanted for me, for myself at least. So.
Yeah, I remember last season when we had that race where it was just crazy in the last 3 laps, because I think it started heavily raining, and then the whole field was...
and everybody apart from who was it? It was a Haas, I remember, but I don't remember the name. Someone changed onto the wets for that safety car period.
It was the Bumpy Flump.
3 laps, he's Bumpy Flump, exactly, yeah. And he chased up from like P14 or something to P2, just in those remaining 2 laps. Just because he was on the wet tires, and everybody else stayed out on the intermediates. That was quite conditions like this.
Yeah, I do not love conditions like this because I'm very slow. However, you are a lot faster in this. And did we give this
rain?
Yeah, you are faster than me in the rain. I'm thinking.
Yeah, it depends on the track, I would say. There's tracks where I'm really crap in the rain.
I mean, we'll see next week if we get a downpour of rain in Austria. If
I hope not.
If not, I am very sorry, and I'm just going to say what Kevin said in chat. No, I did not give this British beautiful weather to the French. We are actually perfectly fine at the moment, and everything is going wonderfully. We haven't actually had any rain in a long while, so this is not my fault. I have nothing to do with this rain, so leave it there. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys get on in this weather, because it's going to test their ability. It's actually the first race we've had in wet conditions, so it will be a very interesting show for sure. But the thing is, you actually don't have to pit 4 different tyre compounds in this track, so yeah, I am not sure if it's going to clear up. I had a quick look in chat, and yeah, I'm not going to repeat that other comment that just came on the screen, but he does like it very wet in terms of racing, but he might actually have wet weather in about an hour and a half's time. So yeah, joking, Weasel. So he will be good, but we have got the drivers lining up on the grid now, and we have 3 disqualifications on the
Already.
yeah. Seems like a double McLaren and a Renault, so something must have happened back in that grid. So we'll see, but I will try and get my Twitch chat working for the next race. However, the guys line up on the grid for the start of the Tier 4 test race with no built on pole position. Club 47 following him very closely. Who will get the better start, but might see Stolky and Fly Guy get into this. However, let's see as we do that, and go Max Duca coming from the Weasel there. So let's see as the lights go out in just a second, and I'll let you do the countdown on your new microphone.
Oh, I shall do the countdown for the first time ever.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it's the appropriate time to do it with the mic.
Oh yeah, so lights coming up. 3, 4, 5 red lights for the French Grand Prix. And away we go. Oh, and there's Fob, I think, bogged down. Nobilt and Stalker away. And the timing board is being crap again, as always. And there's already a crash in the back. Have you seen something? I didn't see.
Massive crash at the back. Did not see what happened, but Blooth is apparently in the lead. I'm not sure who that was. Looked like one of the Hasses going all over the place, and I cannot see who it was, but what a massive
Safety car.
I'm not sure who that was, but it did not look like who they was, and we already have a safety car in the wet. Oh my. I didn't see who it was, but I can't actually...
I just saw some from wing flying off, and I think it's handicap actually in the penultimate position, because he's lost half his front wing.
Yeah.
Prosto Sith has been off the track a little, for until turn 3 or something. So something with those two maybe, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe if anyone can elaborate it from the Discord into the chat, please. I'm not sure what happened, but that was whoa as the handicap breaks. Then as McLaren Lad loses his delta and handicap gets a
And a second penalty.
And it'll be great. This is only a test race because that is not the start he wanted or anyone else. But Fub down to P6 already, but they are going to be able to pit under this safety car. But one thing is they might be able to actually make these tyres go to the end if they ever feel like it. But that was a massive crash at turn 1 then. Not sure what caused it, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some inquiries after this race because that was not probably what a few of these guys wanted. However, we'll see what caused that in a moment because that was huge, Andy. I just saw one of the Hasses go flying off track, and it looks like yeah, it might have been Biggest Bosch because he has got heavy wing damage. So I am pretty sure Biggest Bosch might have been the car that caused that pileup because he is now actually in the provisional lead. But
and he's in the bits, yeah.
Yeah, I think he missed the braking zone completely and caused a huge crash. He had a few moments in the races at Silverstone, but God knows what happened then. He has got a fair bit of pace, but it just looked like he completely missed his braking zone and sent everyone out of the control. But it doesn't look like it was his teammate Ward who currently sits in P10. But yeah, we're already in the drama in France, so yeah, hard to say. But at the moment, it looks like only 4 cars were caught up in that incident, and it looks like Scott Armstrong, Handicap, Max Duca, and Biggest Bosch were the guys that was caught up, and that's not going to do their races any good at the moment. But it looks like from the start, a few people may have gained from that pretty well, and it looks like Bomba is the one to gain the most from that, as he gains 9 positions, but Prostosif losing 9 positions from the start, so that crash was huge, and can't get up on the outway.
Sorry, how many positions did you say Bomber gain?
9. No, 6. 6.
6. I wouldn't say 9. What?
I'm not.
6 is still the most anyway.
I am not insane just yet. It's
No, actually, see, I know of a guy who's gained 7, but of course it's at least 4 positions only from that crashes.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, under a safety car, you can gain so much from a safety car at the start of a race. It is pretty much all that you can gain, really. So it just depends what happens. And in this case, a few guys have gained quite a lot, but then obviously a few people had to pit. But we'll probably see the safety car out for one more lap before we have to pit. And well, I am not afraid to say it. That has actually made this boring track very much a lot more alive now. However, the guys in the cars have already made it very alive in qualifying with how close it was together. So that is good. But as Mr. Bad Santa would say, magnificent. So we'll have one more lap and we'll get underway. But if anyone knows what that's from, feel free to say what it is. But yeah, Rich Energy, the UK's #1 premium drink, and I am promoting Rich Energy. Oh no, my channel's not going to get demonetized for that. But that's the other thing. If they're returning to Formula One, which team are they going to? It looks like potentially it could be Williams tomorrow, because they get to reveal their car.
Okay.
So that's actually quite worrying. Who they going?
Who else is actually left to reveal the car? For Williams, Ferrari, and who else?
Who else actually? I'm not sure who else is left meant to, be doing their car right now. I think it's Williams are doing theirs tomorrow. Haas have got to do theirs, but that's going to be at the first week of testing. So they revealed the livery to yesterday.
Actually, they just revealed the livery. And Ferrari are going to do a testing, I think, only next week on Friday, when testing starts.
I think so, but I can't see Rich Energy.
Everyone else is already revealed, I would say.
Yeah, so
as far as I remember.
I'm not sure who then this livery would be for, so it'll be interesting to see. We actually do have a few things going on in the back. A few guys shuffling around positions already, so we're not even done. And the safety cars will cause a lot of havoc for the guys at the back. And well, we'll see how this field starts to separate as we begin, and we see the leaves actually falling on the track already. And ooh, whoa! What the?
Someone's crashed.
Dark. What the devil happened then? You saw him in the background, and
I think he crashed into the back of I know a guy.
Yeah, he just got caught up in the back, and that is Grosjean-esque under the safety car. And
I guess I know what happened. Did you see Keane join back? And Keane is a Nova guy, and another guy also has from wing damage on the left. So I guess the Renault just slowed down when Keane rejoined. The Red Bull ran into the back of the Renault, and Dark had no time left to react. Something like that, I would guess.
Oh god, F1 and Codemasters doing their bits once again. And for crying
Up to
out.
the restart now.
Yep. And No-Built is going straight ahead with this, as we see Wardy get a 5-second time penalty already, as No-Built controls the pace coming out of the final turn and is already up as 4:47 goes into the pits. And this was the same thing with Tier 5 yesterday. We saw a few people on the restart get wing damage from not joining too quickly. We see a lot of people already pitting, so they must have got wing damage from where Keane rejoined. But that is really unfortunate for a few of those guys, because that's nothing they could really do. But No-Built has already got a 1.3 second lead over the chasing pack, and Stolke is going to have to keep on the back of him at the moment, because, well, he is his nearest contender. But Stolke, a last minute addition in place of Merge, and Stolke is drifting out of turn 5 at the moment, and he's going to have to get after No-Built pretty quickly. But that is a hard one to see, and do see Tuss behind leading the other pack. But yeah, a few of these guys not really getting the best of luck with the safety car restart, due to the fact it did that. And Stokey in chat getting support from his fan club, and yeah, No-Built is doing a fine job indeed, and is controlling that pace. 1.7 seconds ahead already, and do see Biggest Botch picking up a penalty already. But he is getting on the back of across the Sith now, and might actually be about to make a move, but we do have Ioannidis and Wardy trading places, and as Wardy lost it, almost loses it, but Ioannidis does get past, but we do have a close battle here for PA on the grid, and he's getting that, and we have a yellow flag, and that is McLaren Lads.
McLaren Lad.
Yep, he doesn't have any wing damage, so he should be alright in terms of where he is, but not really what he wanted. But at the moment, Bluff is up to 6th position, and wow, what a result for him. But we do see Fire Guy going into the pits, so he must have got wing damage or something. But the wet causing havoc for a load of these drivers. But the main thing is, look at No Build, 2.3 seconds lead over Stolke, and he is pulling away at a rate of knots at the moment, but it'll be down to Stolke to go after him. But No Build loving the wet conditions at the minute. But we do have... Oh, actually, saying that, Fire Guy is going on the intermediates. That is a very interesting decision. So he's obviously thinking it is going to dry up. And if we look on board with him, he probably is... Actually, why is he not doing that? Because it is game. But it looks like it is drying, potentially drying up. We'll keep an eye on his lap times. And he could potentially there make the jump up the grid. So that will be... an interesting one to watch. However, oh, it's in the background. Massive crash from Wardy. Loses it.
Wardy.
And that is a safety car. Wow, that was...
I lost on the exit of 8, didn't he?
Yeah, that was spectacular. Just caught him in the background and he lost it. Then, in spectacular fashion, that is the second retirement of this race, but that was just down to the weather conditions playing havoc, and it'll be interesting to see now what these guys do. As we see Fire Guy actually in on those intermediate tyres, but wow, he could have actually picked the right time to jump onto those tyres now, and he could be in for a massive promotion in terms of his grid position. But well, we've already had drama 5 minutes into this race, and the wet conditions causing havoc to everyone and screwing up their race. But really, the guys who got that caught in that crash on lap 1 gets a bit of redemption at the moment, due to the fact.
And here comes the Nobles into the pits. All the leaders now in the pits. I guess they're going to stop for inches because you can tell from the racing line, it's pretty dried out on the racing line, and the rain is not that heavy anymore. The spray on the T-cam, so it might be the time for inters.
I think you may be right. That the fact they are able to, and I know a guy gets a drive-through penalty, and I think you're right. They've timed it pretty well for those intermediate tyres. But one thing is, Fire Guy may actually not be able to get that much gain on the guys on those inters. But interestingly, Keen stays out on that wet tyre to try and go a little bit further into the race, so he can make that advantage work, because he might just be able to jump these guys in the pits. But obviously, you can go. You don't have to make that mandatory pit stop under the safety car. Not under the safety car. You don't have to change wet tyres, because you can actually go to the end, which is quite a weird rule in my opinion. So we'll see how that goes. But that could be either good or bad for Keen at the end of this race. But Noble at the minute favourite to win, but very strong in these wet conditions. But it'll be interesting to see if Stolke can do anything from getting to the back of him. However, very, very interesting race so far, and what's going on, I cannot say apart from, well, drama. If we do actually have more chat going on as well, and Jeff is wanting the inters, so it's right. Sorry for just moving. I've got my key bindings out, so that was something to see. But either way, Scott Armstrong, who's actually making his debut down in P15, jumping onto those intermediate tyres, and he qualified actually in P4, so he will looking to get back up this grid. A few people will be doing the same, but at the moment it just looks like the wet's getting havoc. And like you said, that wet line, you can see that dry line forming on the track right now. And do you think Keen's made the right decision to stay on the wet tyres, or do you think that's going to be a costly mistake in a few laps' time? Hello? Is Kimmy there? Is Kimmy disconnected? Or disconnected? Hello? I think we have lost my commentary partner for just a second. Hello? Hello? yeah, it looks like Mr. Kimurai's internet may have gone down. So we'll have to see how that goes in a second as Keen comes into the pit. But it looks like I am doing a rodeo for a few seconds until Kimmy sorts out his issues with the mic. But at the moment, Noble, the one in the lead, and being very strong so far on those intermediate tyres, but Stolke doing a superb job in P2, and it looks like these two guys could be in for a very interesting battle coming towards the end of this race. We've got 20 laps to go, and this is our second safety car of this race, and well, very interesting story so far, and for the opening round in Austria next week, there is going to be a few things that are going to probably need to be answered, because he's already given us drama in France, and well, don't know what more to say apart from enjoy the next 20 laps and see how this goes. Noble will probably have to take the lead at the end of this pack. As you see, I know of a guy come up to the back of this pack, and he's obviously got to serve that drive-through penalty within the next 2 laps because he is on it. But
Powering off.
I am not sure what else will be going on.
Powering
Just a
on.
second, if we see what happens.
Mic on.
Sorry if my microphone is deciding to do random stuff at the moment, but just see if it can get me back on, because I'm not sure what it is. However, it looks like we might have one more lap of the safety car if I know if a guy cannot get to the back of this field to get onto the back of Ponreed. And yes, it is back, powering on, powering off. Do you expect any less? It is my microphone, and I treasure it with a much joy. And looks like we are going to get one more lap behind the safety car, so we will see a few more. Well, we'll just see people warming up their tyres for one more lap. And no, the safety car is in this lap, so we will have to wait a second as we see Nobilt do the second time back up the pack at the penultimate section of this race, and is about to launch the gun, I think, as we see Stolke now get ready, and Nobilt about to start in just a second as he comes around the final turn. When will he choose to go? So you're actually right on board with Stolke. We'll see, as you can see, he's right at the back of him. Nobilt goes now, and well, he is off and guns it down the main straight. Stolke keeping in his slipstream very nicely, and do that. And if you see that, if you get that right, then I will not play that clip later of you doing that. However, we see him keeping very nicely in the slipstream of Noble at the minute, but Noble looks like he has got the traction and what he has needed to fend off an attack down the second straight. However, after 8 laps, we do have many position changes up in the second, but Bloff up into P6, and actually where he started was all the way down 7 places ago, but Ionides is as well up 9 places, so very interesting to see what the position change will look like after the race. But Stolke now getting onto the back of the Ferrari of Noble, but behind AJ looks like he is getting a lot closer to Toss as well, so Toss to that, and the wall looked really lonely, and that is McLaren lad into the wall then, so he's not really having his best race, but I'm not sure if he got clipped from behind or if anything happened, and well, he is not looking likely to get any more than me after that little spin. But at the moment, AJ getting the pressure on Toss from behind, and Toss just holding off AJ, but these guys getting really close. But up ahead, Noble and Stolke looking like they are about to pull away just a little bit as we come into the end of the first lap after the safety car. And yes, you are right, the wall looks pretty lonely, but we see Ionides and Bloff going side by side into the next section of the track, and Ionides is forced out onto that curb, and he is going to try and fight back of Bloff into the final turn, keeps onto that outside line, but he is going to be very slippy off that line, and Bloff retains P6 for now and doing a superb job. But this fighting looks like he is causing a train behind these two guys, and it'll be very close to see what happens. I know of a guy who comes into the pits to serve his drive-through penalty, and that should not hamper the rest of his race, and McLaren lad retires from the session after he split into the wall, but that is really unfortunate, as now we have both McLarens out of the race on lap 9, and they'll be thanking that this is only a pre-season test race. And at the moment, we are joining stayed in that battle for P6, and I know, as you can see, pushing at the back of Bluff at the moment. He's got a lot more power, and if he wants to get up that grid, he needs to ideally get past him on the straight as he comes through the turn 5. He is going to be in his slipstream, and as you might see now, he's got a lot of spray comers. Bluff tries to defend the inside line, and he's going to force Ioannidis onto that, and ooh, that was a bit of lag from the Alpha Tauri driver there. The Honda Eurobeat looks like it has lost out due to a bit of poor connection, and nothing he could do about that, and the Alpha Tauri driver drops back into P7, so Ioannidis getting a bit of fortune there and up into P6, and I'm gonna have to see what's happened to my co-commentator in the moment, because I am not heard him as Scott Armstrong picks up in the warning all the way down in P13, but at the moment we have a lot of action as Ioannidis gets a little touch in the back, and Bluff now on the outside line where Ioannidis obviously defended before. He looks like he's got a bit of a gap. You see the Alpha Tauri twitching, and I need to stop saying Alpha Tauri driver and Bluff twitches, but it'll sound like Lance Stroll from the Aston Martin Consequent Formula 1 team yesterday, as we have Bomber and the handicap battling now coming down the main straight. So these guys going, and we have both Eurobeats proving their straight line speed as they come down up to turn 1. It looks like the Eurobeat of the handicap keeps it ahead, as we see Big Bosch come down the side of Bomber as well and gets through, and Bomber loses another place then, and he actually might lose another place here to his teammate Scott Armstrong as they come up to turn 3, and he just has to hold back, and that is a bit of contact in the back there for Bomber, and I'm not sure if that's going to cause any wing damage, or hope he hasn't, and that could be very costly, but it looked like he did come very sharp, and it does look like he has lost a little bit of his end plate there, but we do see now Bluff falling back even further behind Apostasy, but it looks like he's going to try and put up the fight as they come up into the turn, but it looks like Bluff is going to go side by side, but he's not going to be able to hold the position, and he drops down into PA, but behind the other Eurobeat is coming up ahead of Max Duca there, and he is now on the back of his teammate, but nice overtake by the handicap member. Max Duca looks like he's going to have a go side by side into the turn where you usually see a lot of incidents happen, and it looks like he has got past the handicap, and he has indeed. So this wet track favouring some drivers over the others, and it looks like the handicap has done so, and we go further back. Fub and Pondweed both battling right now, and Fub looks like he is getting through the field, and a bit further back we have even more exciting battles going on at the minute. But if you just give me a second, I'll see what's happened to my co-commentator, because I cannot hear him at all. And yeah, he'll be back in a moment. He is on Discord, but it seems like his connection's died, so we'll have to see. And hello, is he back? Yes, he's back.
Yeah. My connection has just been like an idiot or something, but it might actually be the weather outside, because our weather outside here is like in the game, and that sometimes causes difficulties to the internet providers. So might be that.
Yeah, I think in the minute in Germany, it's doing.
Did I miss something very interesting?
Did you miss anything very interesting? Yes, you actually missed some exciting battles, but no major crashes at the moment. So we have actually had a few clean laps of racing.
I just see Keane is not in the lead anymore on his wet tyres. So
he jumped.
That's all I for now.
He made a pit stop and went on to the intermediates like everyone else. So either way, he's just about to lose another position. For the look of it, no, he is not, to Pondweed, and Pondweed keeps that, and it's that biggest Bosch dropping down the order, and it looks like it is. Not sure what's happened to him, but he's had to take the escape road, and he doesn't have any more front wing damage, but you could say he is having a race to forget at the moment. And hello, it is Milan in chat, going 10 minutes before his race in MRL, so if he's not practiced for that, go and do some practice. I believe it is Monaco, so go and practice, Milan.
Oh, I will practice that.
Oh, what? Like in Monaco?
And no, I would practice when I had a league race in Monaco. I will practice for that for sure. Not go into that without aim practice, like I did on Tuesday, by the way, for our test race.
I was gonna say either way. I don't think I haven't. I've done some laps for Street next week, but I haven't done a lot. So
I haven't done some yet.
So we are both at the same stage. So haha.
Yeah, I'm gonna do practice on like Sunday or Monday, something like that.
We'll see how that goes. But I think you're right. However, see, I know a guy gone onto the soft tires, and you can just see him in the background there. I think it's just a little bit
I think
too
he's
early.
just been lapped.
Yeah, I think he's just gone onto those tires a little bit too early because go on board with Stolke. He has got some. Well, you can just see the words, Adam. You can see the spray kicking up a little bit more, and I think it's just a little bit too early. But usually, in game, when you've got the DRS sign enabled, that's when you know it's time to switch.
Yeah,
Into...
and I see something interesting. Bloth lost it on the exit of the Mistral chicane.
Oh no!
That's been passed.
Yeah, I think you are right. If it decides,
He might be passed again. No,
I think
got Armstrong himself.
he's just
Proud of him.
holding off for a moment, as you said, and well, he is doing that. And there you go, DRS is enabled, and actually, biggest Bosch.
Nobody is in the pits.
Yep, he is in the pits, and as we said, when the DRS zone comes out, it is time to switch to the hard tires. And
Yeah, I see what you wanted to say. Biggest Bosch. Say it.
yeah, he's on the hard tires, but then Scott Armstrong has spun there. I'm not sure what's happened, but it'll be interesting to see where Built comes out. But it could actually be a big gain for biggest Bosch, because if he jumps anyone here who's on the hard tires, he can go to the end. But where he actually the devil is, he's not that far off. He's too far back on track. It will be interesting to see if Nobuilt can get these mediums to the end. It is going to be a little bit of a push, I think. However, I do think it is possible. So we'll see where he does come out. But he has got a 4-second lead over Stolke at the moment. Nobuilt doing really well to retain that position. But the one thing that I think's happened is the
I think AJ spun. Sorry.
AJ spun, and no, he hasn't.
I think he was off the racing line. Is now Ioannidis right behind him.
Yeah, well, Ioannidis has actually been climbing the field very well out of sight, and he is now up into something.
And it's biggest Bosch in the wall. Sorry.
And there is another. Yeah, I think he's just overspun it there, and there you go, another safety car, and this is going to bring Guy back into this race, and that is our 4th retirement in 13 laps. And well,
do you see actually McLaren Lad on my screen is not retired yet?
He is retired on mine, so God knows what's going on.
Might be my disconnect, because he's shown on Inters with zero laps. Yeah, I got problems with words as well. He's shown in the pits on intermediates, but he's not out. He's not like shown like Wardy or biggest Bosch now, but that might be due to my disconnect, maybe.
Yeah, well, don't forget, whenever you come back in on F1, then it always does that. However, it is going to be interesting to see how the drivers react to this. But anyone who's on that medium tyre, this, I think, is going to work out beautifully, because they're going to be able to get on those tyres that will carry them through to the end of this race, I presume. And, well, they will be able to do that as we see the soft tyre window opening. But I don't think Pondweed will be able to go to the end of this race, as we see 47 dive into the pits to either retire or
changing it. Maybe?
Yeah. Is he changing his tyres? I was going to say, that's pretty surprising.
He's changing back to mediums as well.
So,
Again, he's just freshened up his mediums to go to the end for sure. But as biggest Bosch was about to spin, I was actually going to say, so my choice would have been the mediums, I would say, not the softs, because they're not going to run to the end. But I think hards, if it was a dry race all throughout, I would have gone to the hards maybe at that point.
yeah.
But as you can see, the track's still wet and the tyres are not going to be degrading as fast as normally. Okay, with this safety car even more, I think the guys in the mediums are the people to watch. So the medium tyre, I would say, is the tyre to be on. But we're going to see what Stolke is going to do in his hards against Nobuilt and the lead.
Yeah, I think he'll do a very nice job indeed. So we'll see how it does. But yeah, I remember in the Tier 2 race as well last season where the rain was coming, I had to overextend a set of soft tyres, and they got to the point of exploding, and the rain just came 2 laps later. But then we got a safety car, so it was all right to switch to the inters.
You
But
say,
you can actually take the thing is you can take the softs quite far. However, it is not recommended, and I know of a guy actually still out on the track at the moment and not pitting by the look of it. So we'll have to see if what he does.
I mean, I think he was firstly up on unlapping himself while the others pit. He might just pit this lap, maybe. As he's got a big enough gap now between him and the safety car when he pits. Because you remember he was lapped, so I wouldn't have pitted right away as well because he was lapped. He might have been lapped anyways because we're not in the real F1 where you get unlap yourself at the end of the safety car. So that might be the reason.
Yeah, I have actually been able to unlap myself in this game, so that's pretty interesting to do. However, in the Tier 5 test race the other day, we actually had the safety car teleport into someone and disqualify them. So, Codemasters doing their already a little bit of, not memes doing that, but it'll be something to watch out for. But I think at the moment, Noble has got the win pretty much sewn up at the moment, unless Stolky can get past him, or Fire Guy and Toss can put a spanner in the works. But he is doing very nicely at the moment to keep behind both Stolky, but Stolky, I think, is just going to have a bit not as much pace on those medium tyres, so he'll have to get around. But one thing for sure is we might have to just wait for other guy to catch up to the back of the pack as we see Keen do the same thing, but not writing them off. But it's interesting to see that Pondweed hasn't pitted, still on those medium tyres, so he's playing a completely soft tyres. So
I wouldn't say you mean soft tyres, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say medium tyres. What am I thinking?
Yeah. And I know a guy, as I said, was pitting now, but he's interestingly changed to the hard.
Yeah, so
Latestly now, I would have said it's changed to the mediums, but he might not have any mediums. Don't know what he used in qualifying. But he might have chosen a softer way to go, and it doesn't have any fresh mediums left. But I don't know.
it's all interesting to see what they'll do in the end. And yeah, mediums will go to the end. And yes, Milan. For Monaco, bit of advice: pit on lap 9, do the undercut, very powerful, and it will bring you out ahead of everyone. If not, you can even stop on lap 8. Trust me on that, because I did that in SLR, and I jumped about the field 6-7. No. Start on the softs, go to the mediums on lap 8 or 9, pit at the end of lap 9. It'll give you.
Did you finish the race?
What?
Did you finish the race?
Yeah, I did. I did 2 races Monaco that week, and I started P7, finished P2 in both.
Okay. I was just thinking, you're going to say you pit on lap 8 or 9, and you go to the mediums, but you're never going to run 31 laps because you're going to DNF before the end.
Oh, okay.
That might be the best way to see.
I think you are correct there. I was lucky to finish both of them because there was moments where I almost did put it in the barrier. So it's that. But actually, tomorrow I have got Baku in the same league, so that's going to be interesting to do that. But,
nice.
Yeah, and Milan, don't put the intermediates on, whatever you do. I was thinking back to the Monaco race in Tier 2.
Go on wet.
No, I'm not going to do that. Can you do that for Austria next week? It'll give me some 25 points.
If it rains, as you hope so.
Oh, can I get my wish? Oh, yeah, I won't.
But I hope to start on mediums and go to, I don't know, something else.
Yeah, I was hoping anyway. See you later, Milan. But yeah, we'll see how that does. But either way, the safety car is in at the end of this lap, and
I think I know of a guy is just going to be able to join the back of the queue. So
yeah,
he's just come around to 12.
indeed he is. And well, if I was going to say something, No Built is backing at the pack a lot harder this time, and it is a lot further back in terms of where they are on track. So he is just going to have to wait. I am going to, in the second, see when he's going to go. But it'll be interesting to see if he goes at the penultimate turn or the final turn. And yeah, Milan, final thing. I know he's an alien, but you can beat him. If not, you will have the ABS off. But Noble has actually already gone, so he is already going to go flying down the back straight here as we watch the pack go now. As we see him actually already pull up a 1.1 second lead, but Toz very close to the back of Sulky already, and those hard tyres not looking like the tyres beyond, and the pace difference looks very huge already. So it will be interesting to see what he does as he is on the back of already as Pomweed picks up another time penalty. So Pomweed obviously now he's got to take those softs at the end, as we see Fub 47 and Bluff battling already, and Fub 47 getting past Bluff. But if we're not mistaken, Fub has got a drive-through penalty, so he may have to leave there, so we'll be eyes open what he can do. And yeah, it is not ideal for him.
Quiet here at the moment. Pretty quiet here after a restart. Not so many overtakes or movements.
Yeah,
that's it.
I was going to say we are seeing the true France now. In that time as well, France has probably had about 5 different republics in that time. Done something else to the monarchy. However, you are right. The only thing that's really happening is that Noble is pulling 2 seconds away from Stolky on those medium tyres, and Toss is having to he's getting backed up into Fire Guy now. So Fire Guy getting on the back of Toss already, and he is looking to get past him pretty soon. And Stolky is gonna be in trouble here. As you see him get a little bit a little bit funky off the final turn. Noble sets 132.1 on those tyres. Is 132.1 that pace already, as we see him go. But the main thing is Fire Guy pulling away just as falling back from the back of the Racing Point train there, as we see him go. But yeah, Stolky not really pulling away from these guys at the moment, and that is going to be a bit of concern to the Red Bull driver, as we now will have DRS open in the next 2 laps, so it will be interesting to see. But we do have 9 laps to go, and plenty of things can happen at the moment, so it's not race over yet. And further back we do have Bloff looking like to actually have a go on the other Racing Point of Max Duca, but Bloff on those hard tyres may not have chosen rightly there. However, he will definitely stay in the points, because with Pondweed on those softs, and there's no way those softs are going to go to the end unless he is the tyre saving god that was the Mercedes W11 in Turkey of 2020. Sergio Perez.
Sorry, Adam, I guess you mean a handicap, no, Bloff V9, wasn't it?
Yes,
you were talking about Max Duca.
Yes, you are right. I am sorry. I did not notice.
Bloff is on the same tyre strategy as handicap, by the way, so
yeah,
not too bad. The mistake. And
yeah.
Fub in the pits, I guess, for a start drive through there.
Yeah, indeed, and he is going for that drive for penalty now, so he is going to get out of the way and jump quickly, so he can try and get onto the back of the field already. But up ahead, No Built is looking like he is potentially already with the pace that he's going at. But you know, will be up for discussions at the end of the day. And yes, Pondweed softs are going to be on fire, I think. Maybe not as fire as that mixtape in your soundboard after, but unless you want to release that to the world, then it might be bigger than the Wu-Tang Clan's lost tapes. So if you're going to drop that anytime, we'll see, but don't drop it in the next 30 minutes because you need to be practicing, so go. I'll see you in about pretty soon, but either way, No Bill is 2.6 seconds ahead of Stolky on lap 19 of 27, but Stolky not really pulling away from Toss, but Toss not really gaining on Stolky either. And it looks like it's stagnated a little bit at the top of the grid, and you see him locking up there on those hard tyres, and Toss will be having to try and get in that DRS, but we haven't really had a look at the DRS at the moment, and it's always interesting to see what these guys do in terms of DRS management and whatnot. And ooh, he has dropped the mixtape. He has dropped it in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Go and check it out. But we do see Toss going down the main straight now as he comes up to turn 1. He will not be able to overtake him there, so he's just going to have to wait through the next few sections now as they come up to turns 3, 4, 5, all in quick succession. So he needs to get him before he gets to the next DRS zone, but he just looks like he's not getting the exit he needs, as these guys are going to have to battle each other because they don't have any time penalties. But as you can see, coming up to turn 5, 6 and 7 now, he just needs to get a better launch, and it doesn't look like he's got the launch to get after Stolky at the minute. And you can see he is using his ERS to get after him, and he goes down the back straight now, and as you can see, Toss is just not that close to get to the back of Stolky at the moment, and he is just holding on for dear life at the minute. But behind, Pondweed has been overtaken by Scott Armstrong. Scott Armstrong with a great recovery drive after that mash up at turn 1, and well, he is doing a superb job, and he could be on for even more points at the minute. And Pondweed now, that looks like the decision to start on those, well, to finish on those soft tyres has backfired completely.
Yeah, kind of. Scott, by the way, just joined that queue behind Ioannidis. But it seems like, as you mentioned, ERS management, he is in P6 at the moment, the best of those like 5 or 6 cars. And I see a safety car.
I know of a guy has retired, and that could be huge. And well,
and there is Prososith in the pits already.
Yeah. Oh, that is a huge retirement, and that could have deterring results on the end of this race, as Pondweed is able to get rid of his soft tyres and go on to a fresh set with 6 laps to go. And do you know what? I'm having PTSD flashbacks now to the bumpy flump changing onto those wet tyres at the end of that
wet tyres in the heavy rain, yeah.
Oh god, we are having PTSD flashbacks now, and anyone who went past the pits then, oh, that could be pretty huge. And the handicap now is in a prime position to potentially win this race if he can get past the field up front. Obviously, he's got to get through, but he is in a much better place than when he first started this race, due to, I know of the guy's retirement. And well, when we thought France could be boring, it has done that. And around France as well, which is how many safety cars can one have in a France race? How many have we had so far? 4 or 5? I think it's 4.
Yeah, at least 3. I think it's 4 even.
I think
you need to send me the stream link later. I'm going to check on the stream.
I think you're right. If you click on my profile on Discord, it'll be on there. But yeah, we have had 4 retirements so far, so that's going to be pretty interesting to see how we do in terms of the streaming stuff. But yeah, it's not ideal for some people here, because it's complete throwing the strategy at the window. But for others, obviously, these safety cars always do brilliant stuff, and for handicap, it has done just that. And if he gets a podium from this, which he potentially could. However, he does need to overtake guys on 8-lap mediums. However, he does have a good window on those soft tyres, because the 6 laps will do that. And I know it is 5 retirements. I didn't say it was 6. Thank you. And yeah, I'm going to see in a moment as that was a bit funky from the us handicap.
Oh, the handicap gets 5 seconds.
Oh no, does he get any wing damage?
From wing damage?
He doesn't have wing damage from the look of it.
But might be like yellow or light green.
Yeah. We saw this in the Tier 5 race yesterday. A few guys getting that close into the safety car, they kind of got under each other's wheels, and they lost any front wing left, and it just didn't work out.
Sorry, I just lost any timings right now. And there's Blooth as well. Severe collision with Keen.
So if you
those guys collecting 5 seconds penalties.
Yeah, as you see, Keen actually
Bye.
yeah, he's letting him through, but Codemasters, fix your goddamn game, because this is not what you want. It is.
But by the way, do you want to know what I know a guy says about his retirement?
What did it say?
I post it in the Tier 4 Discord channel. First race with medium traction control using time trial setup. Recite for mating with the wall. Kind of true, yeah.
I mean, where the turn is. It's obviously the start of Sector 3, and it always happens. And I don't even know what turn that is. To be honest, I don't even know what any part of France is, apart from the fact.
I mean, turn 8. Turn
Yes.
8 is the left-hander entering onto the Mistral Straight.
I like.
Where you can see the green dot for the DRS detection point.
You are right, and I actually.
That is 7 into 8. Turn 9 is the chicane on the middle of the straight.
Yeah, and you are actually. Thank you very much, because that's cleared a lot of things up. However, we do have the safety car restarting this lap, and will we see the handicap jump up the field with that time penalty, which I think will come into effect at the
Could be
end
if it is an actual race.
However, he'll just be racing for pride at the minute. But we'll see now as Joe Built for the third time in this race, gone from like 3 different seasons in this race, is now about to start for the final time. We hope under the safety car, and he will come out.
And
the
this
final...
time, Storky is on his back. You gotta say, he's not gonna let another second be a pull on his back.
Yeah, and there you go. He is off that ERS going straight away. It will be interesting to see what goes on behind on those soft tyres. And wow, look how close that is behind. And I think Prosto Sif gets a 3-second time penalty already. Oh my god. Was that wing damage or was that someone flying? But we do see
Fire guys coming out. Sorry,
fire guys.
Out.
Oh, I saw something go, and we've had a few things there as AJ picks up a time penalty. But the handicap already up into P7 and going even more. And we do have a lot of wheel banging at the moment as Bomber picks up a time penalty. But the handicap potentially after the safety car restart could be up into P6 and in a very comfortable position to potentially get a podium, but behind him...
He's drag racing with Max Duke at the moment.
Yeah, and he has got past him. And, well, do you want to take it from here for the next part? And we do have Bomber spinning out behind, but yeah, what a crazy restart again, and a lot of these drivers losing position, but behind Prosto Sif and from 47 fighting out as well, coming up to turn 9. And yes, I am using your pronunciation because you just told me that was turn 8, but both Renaults and both Mercedes fighting each other on the soft tyres at the moment, so that's going to be huge. But up ahead we have Ionides and AJ fighting each other as well, and look at that, the handicap 3 wide up into P4. What a race from the handicap. What a move.
If he's recording, I want to have that recording. We got to put that in the highlights.
Yeah, we have got to get this in the highlights, because what a race from the handicap at the moment. And if he can just keep up with this, he could potentially win this. But AJ and Ionides battling very hard on those warm mediums. But well, we do see is that the... I'm not sure, is Bomber
retiring in the pits.
Yeah, well, there's nothing really to gain unless there's safety car on the last few laps. But at the moment, it's all eyes on the handicap and what he can do. So he has got to actually now catch those cars ahead. As you can see, a little bit out of range at the moment, but he will have DRS, and he does have 36%, but the guys ahead of him 63 and 67, so he has got to get down the road a little bit if he wants to keep up with them. However, we'll see how he does as these guys continue, as Keen picks up a time penalty. But a bit further back, we do have Ponweed, Max Duca all battling it out, and Max Duca trying to go around the outside, but those soft tyres of Ponweed looks like he is getting that advantage at the moment as he comes out of the menstrual straight and into turn 9, and those guys on the mediums in the mid pack looks like they've got bogged down that much.
AJ
as AJ spun, and oh no, that is another retirement, and yeah, that is really unfortunate for AJ. I think he just got clipped a bit, but we do see Prostasif diving into the pits and Fub diving into the pits. God knows what's happened to them, and you could see potentially a few more retirements in just a second with 3 laps to go, because there's really not much more to gain from doing this racing very hard. But we could see the handicap actually now get onto the podium ahead of Toss and Stolke in this race, and he could actually have the gap to retain the podium if he P4 if he does not. And we have Scott Armstrong losing it, but all eyes on the handicap now as he comes up to the back of Toss. Toss going to have DRS as well. The handicap on much fresher tyres. He's going to have to use the Eurobeat to get past Toss, and Toss going side by side, wheel to wheel, as you see these guys come in to the chicane, and the handicap gets past Toss, and what a restart from the handicap. And he is going to be loving this, and if he can get up to Stolke, he might actually have a chance to attack Nobuilt here on the soft tyres. The Untouchable at the start of this race looks like he actually could be under a little bit of pressure now. So yeah, I'm not sure what Max and Ioannidis are doing, so we'll have to have a look at after the race. But yeah, they are pretty close together, but Ioannidis and Max are actually holding each other up, so that'll be interesting. But so far, we can see the handicap trying to now get past Stolke, but if I was him, I'd wait a few more turns to do that, because he does need that DRS, but you can see he's out of DRS, and the question is, will he be able to actually get onto the back of Noble, as he's 1.2 seconds shy at the moment?
Yeah, to be fair, I think it's over to certain extent over P2, possibly, with his battery. Because Stolke, I think, is currently trying to get back in the DRS at Noble. You see, it's 1.0, 1.1. He might be back in the DRS.
Yeah, he could be back in the DRS, but we'll see in just a moment. And yes, you can report, even if it's a test race, because everything is good. Well, anything one we get, but as you can see, he hasn't got past Stolke. So, well, Stolke locks up, and he could have a chance up into here. So I'll leave that to you to take away this part of the battle.
What?
Wow!
I'm surprised. I've never been main commentator here, so.
There's always a time and there's always a place to do it, and this is the perfect opportunity.
Somewhere, but I don't remember what it was.
I think it was Belgium the last time. I think it was.
Sounds like Star Wars to me, to be fair. But I'm not watching Star Wars in English, so.
What Star Wars? Oh,
Star Wars. Yeah. Sounds like a sentence from Star Wars.
I can do prequel memes right now. However, I don't know what they'll be like on stream. However, handicap does get
back to the stream. Yeah. So handicap still in the DRS, but as you can see, he's out of battery. As I said, Stolke now back in the window for Nobel on the final lap. Into the first section we go, and we're going to see what they can do on the final lap. Is there going to be some dives, maybe? Some late second moves, because you got to remind, handicap's got those 5 seconds. Noble and Stolke both have none, so it's going to be a 1v1 on the straight as we come up now.
He's gonna have that DRS, but behind.
Boosting, but I think it's not enough.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of. He's probably gonna have one more chance, but behind Pondweed and Fire Guy have got past each other. But I've just seen the battle behind, and Bloff P6 already, so there's time penalties already coming into hand, and Bloff doing a very brilliant job here. And the Alpha Tauri guys are gonna be loving to see this, and well, we'll have a look in a minute. But the battle for P5 heating up as Max Duca trying to get back at the Eurobeat of that Alpha Tauri and keeping it. But we should see now Fire Guy and Max Duca go side by side. But we'll go back to the front after waving.
Nothing gonna happen anymore.
Yeah, unless it's a Seb and at the end and Verstappen at the end. So obviously we see Nobuilt now come across the line to take victory in the test race in France, and what a drive from him. Stolke P2, the handicap has that 5-second time penalty, which drops into P4, which may be a bit controversial in this commentator's opinion because game, and he retains P4. However, Bloff drops down to P10 because of time penalties, and he was net P6. But there you go, the results from the French test race, and Nobuilt wins. Stolke 6 tenths behind him. Toss in the final podium position. The handicap with that brilliant strategy to get him into P1. Oh, oopsie, I hit the wrong button. We go back to the race for the final time, and yes, there you go. Stolke getting into P2, and well done to him. He has done a fantastic job, and I think we might have to call it there because I actually have to be off in just a second to commentate tier 4. So yeah, tier 3. I mean, it's not tier 4. So I will
Next race.
next race. So anyway, I will be back in a minute. But congratulations to Nobuilt for victory in France, and to Stolke and Matt Toss for the podium. Handicap might have a few words after this race because I think it's fair to say that final podium spot should really be his. But you know, if it was an official race, it would be some action. But either way, congratulations to all drivers involved and for everyone who showed up today. So either way, still raining on the other screen. Nobuilt, Stolke, Toss making the podium. Handicap, Max Duca, PK, Fire Guy, Ioannidis, Keen, Pondweed, and Bloff rounding out the top 10. But yeah, that was a really great race, and I think quickly we'll have to call it there because I actually have to be off to the next race. So yes, I will. So I'll be back in 20 minutes, but we'll see Kimirai next week. Well, Mr. Kimirai back for his tier 2 title defense in Austria, and how you actually feeling about that?
Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. To be fair, I already said to Jim Wong as we were talking about FIA stuff. I'm now really hyped for the new season. Of course, I want to defend the championship, as everybody says. Yeah, good to see how interesting that is going to get with a shortened calendar, so we don't have 22 races of time, only 12. So yeah, will be interesting to see the start of everybody, and then we're going to see how the season goes.
Yeah, you're all right. So see how it is. But anyway, we'll be back in a few months for tier 3, and for me and Kimirai, it is good night for us from us. But yeah, thank you again for jumping in the commentary, and we'll see you later on. Well, back in 20 minutes.